we got a new one from Cappuccino the Great. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Moth, and today I'm gonna hit y'all with my thoughts on this new Cappadonna and Stu Bangas album entitled Third Chamber Grail Bars. So Cappadonna, the poppy wardrobe king, the man who shook up the rap world in 1996 with his classic verse on Winter Wars, is back on the scene with his 15th solo album, I believe the third of 2022. Now this time he has linked up with the underrated Boston producer Stu Bangas, who over the last couple of years has been the go-to beatsmith for both new school underground MCs and old school vets. I think most Wu-Tang fanatics would regard Cappadonna's The Pillage album from 1998 to be a classic, but the rest of his discography has been pretty inconsistent and unfortunately underwhelming, and that's mainly due to subpar production. In recent years, Kappa also has some pretty questionable cover art. His Black Tarzan album from 2021 would receive the most laughs for its terrible cover. However, the new cover art for this Third Grail Bars doesn't look quite as bad, but this project contains 13 songs, all produced by Stu Bangas, lasting approximately 40 minutes. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with this track by track breakdown. The opener is just an intro where Kappa talks and gives shout outs over a bright and feel good soul beat. I would have preferred had he rapped, as the production was impeccable, but this is one of many skits with dope instrumentals that we will get on this album. The first actual song is Bring It Out. Here, Cappadonna drops two boastful verses on top of a quirky yet startling boom bap beat. I dug the Sean Price and Biggie vocal scratches provided by Tone Spliff. Overall, it's a solid record, but the remix at the very end is even better. Next is Get Lost, which is set to a darker and glum instrumental. And on this one, Kappa talks his talk while giving Wu-Tang their flowers for being one of the most legendary groups of all time. He raps, "Y'all ain't know what happened when you first heard me on Cuba Links. You was shitting on yourself. You ain't know what to think. And you heard Winter Wars. Now you know I'm what nice means." Now, track 4, Discovery, is just an interview where Cappadonna reflects on all the paths that he took in his life that led him to where he is today. Of course, it contained another flawless, crunchy instrumental, and Kappa drops some game while staying in alignment with the Wu-Tang philosophy and principle. Right after is Toss the Blick featuring Self-Titled, where we get a ferocious horn loop that's very triumphant, yet warlike, also cinematic too, and it's easily the most unique horn backed beat that I've heard in a while. Cappadonna provided two verses, but it was Self-Titled who really went in and did some damage. Although I thought Kappa's one line was pretty funny, "I be in your hood like fucked up toes." But yeah, I want to highlight again how on point the production was. Things do mellow out with the silky smooth how we rollin'. Now Stu Bangas was in his bag here as well. I like the catchy sung hook from Kappa. It's feel good riding music, plain and simple. And for some reason, I could have envisioned Buckshot of Black Moon over this particular beat. Then there is the ominous and late night continuous threats. This one features Planet Asia on the hook, and Kappa giving us his best lyrical performance. That is in terms of him sounding the most focused and on beat. But yeah, I was really digging the eerie and nocturnal production. Following this is Everything Is Measured, which also has a late night and spooky backdrop. There is a verse from Sick Jackin' that wasn't bad, but for some reason I do consider this to be my least favorite song. Immediately after is the Redemption skit, where Cappadonna explains the time that he gave everything up, all of his material possessions, in order to gain clarity and spiritual awareness. I recall at the time people saying that Cappadonna lost his mind and that he's broke when they saw him driving the cab, but I guess he was on the path to more enlightenment. And this has a flawless boom bap beat with bells that gave off a strong mid-90s DITC feel. It was another spectacular beat that I wish could have been used for rapping. Track 10, No Fake Dreads, has this fiery and suspenseful horn sample that goes super hard, as Cappadonna states, Jamaican master killer shit, no fake dreads. It's another unique interpretation of the Wu-Tang sound that Stu Bangas had crafted. Afterwards is Trying to Survive with Ill Bill. The murky midnight production is pretty standout as well. On this one, Cappadonna speaks on gentrification, eliminating racism, and speaking the truth to the young black youth. Ill Bill came through with a pretty solid feature. Thankfully, his voice sounded less cartoonish than it had on recent features. The outro then ends the project with more talking from Cappadonna over this attractive and endearing soul production. But the album really ends on a high note with the Bring It Out remix, which is essentially a Wu-Tang posse cut, set to the same beat as the original. This features Inspector Deck, Raekwon, Ghostface, Master Killer, and the Sons of Man. And while no one dropped a whack verse, I found myself liking Raekwon's, Killer Priest, and Hellraiser's the most. In fact, it was great to hear Hellraiser sounding as good as he did before his accident. Overall, I give this project a rating of 3.5 mics. As far as the production was concerned, Stu Bangas really knocked this one out the park. As a result, I would probably rate the production as a strong 4 to 4.5 mics, whereas I would give Cappadonna around a 3, which balances things out to 3.5 mics. Now, as much as I like and respect Cappadonna, I didn't necessarily love his delivery on some of these tracks. At times, he sounded a bit sluggish and lethargic. Obviously, his unorthodox and creative style did come through, and he has some slick lines here and there, but I don't think he killed the beats as much as I would have liked. Still, it's his most consistent and cohesive project in years, and definitely one that I'll recommend for any hardcore Wu-Tang head. And it's safe to say that we could add Stu Bangas to the list of producers that could likely, assemble a dope Wu-Tang project if RZA decides to act to RZA. My favorite tracks include Toss the Blick, How We Rollin', Continuous Threats, No Fake Dreads, and Bring It Out remix. Let me know what you thought about this album in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. Cappadonna, Stu Bangas, 3rd Chamber Grail Bars 1.